What is going on, everyone? MikeO back with another Mail Day recap. Happy September. September to me is always a fun month for sports. Now, I'm a baseball, football guy. I'm not as much into hockey or basketball. So, September is fantastic. You have pennant race baseball. You have meaningful baseball games to watch on a nightly basis. And even some of the teams just playing spoiler that, are out of the race. They have some of their young guys playing, some of the future of the sport. So it's always fascinating to follow baseball in September for me. And of course, you have the NFL starting, so you have that to look forward to on a weekly basis. And you have the fall weather, crisp, cool weather, something I really enjoy. So hopefully everyone else is excited as well, and I'm definitely excited to go through some of these recent pickups. As always, going to be a lot of Phillies, very Phillies heavy, but also mixed. You're going to have some brand new products, you're going to have a little vintage, and you're going to have some pre-war. And the pre-war stuff, to me, is just fascinating, interesting, and there's always things to learn. There's things to learn in all aspects of the hobby, no matter what you do. And there's always cards you're discovering, but just doing some research on the old school stuff is a lot of fun. And I have a pre-war card that I'm excited to finally have in the collection. I've been seeking it out for the last few years. It's just can be a tough one to acquire. So let's get into the pickups. All right, so first up here is a Rhys Hoskins image variation from Top Series 2. So finally completed that Series 2 set outside of the ultra short print Philly Fanatic mascot on Bryce Harper's body. That card goes for crazy prices, so maybe someday, but very, very difficult. But all the standard cards, the base cards and the standard short prints and even super short prints I've acquired. So happy about that, and really getting pretty close to Topps update, probably a month away or so. So I look forward to seeing who's on that checklist and what short prints perhaps there are. So that one will be going into the Ultimate Topps Team Set binder. This is one of the kind of additions I make to the binder that you don't necessarily have to do, but this is actually from opening day, so it's not really part of the Topps flagship set, but they have these Walk These Way short prints. They're pretty tough to pull for sure, and they're tough to find. They're one of those things that I'm sure a lot of people who open the product that aren't maybe hardcore collectors don't even know, so these things end up in common boxes and such. But this is an Andrew McCutchen. They've made a few of these. This is obviously from Jackie Robinson Day. They're all wearing 42. So when I can pick these up either at auction at cheap prices or sometimes you can make offers and get them cheap, I pick them up and I toss them in the binder since they are those flagship designs. For the Topps Now run, Noah Syndergaard. I mean, these aren't my favorite Topps Now cards. I'd rather them wait a day and have them in the right uniform. But they do it in the off season as well when guys sign or get traded. So picked up the Noah Syndergaard. So technically it's his first Phillies card. I'm sure he'll be in some of the 2023 products. Topps Pristine. This is a pink refractor or pink pulsar, pink pristine, whatever they call him, of JT Realmuto, who's had a really strong second half. He struggled a lot early in the season, offensively and defensively, but he's been really good offensively in the second half here. So that one's number 12 of 15. Really nice looking set. Allen and Ginter Chrome, blue refractor of Bryce Harper. The blues are numbered to 150, but they're really good looking with most cards. I like the golds, I like the blues, but cool refractor there of Bryce Harper. This is a care package from Kay Lee. So, Kevin, appreciate it. Got a few Rico Brogna autographs. I know he's been watching some of the videos. I think he was commenting a lot on my the live stream I did showing off the 500 Phillies autograph card pickup lot. But here's a Rico Brogna from Skybox Autographics. And a Rico Brogna from Fleer Focus. Rico, popular Met, and then he was popular with the Phillies for a little bit. I remember he got sent to Boston, and he didn't hang around much after that, but he was solid with the Phillies. Really good defensively, and like he did enough as a first baseman. He'd hit like 20 homers, knocking around 100 RBIs, hit probably 260, 270. Not an offensive force, but you got something out of him and played quality defense. So really like the Rico Brognas, so I appreciate that. This was an eBay pickup, 1953 Bowman Color Howie Fox. Just a beautiful looking card, great condition. CSG 5, able to get this one dirt cheap. Obviously some staining on the back, but if it weren't for the staining, I mean, my goodness, this card is super sharp for a 53 Bowman Color. So, I mean, the front looks awesome. Excellent 5. The card was not expensive. It might have been like $10. All right. Next pickup is a lot. These are 1928 Yingling Ice Cream. And I love these things, even just to look at the back. Here's a look at the back. One ice cream novelty will be given free for each picture of Babe Ruth. Also, 1 gallon of Yingling's ice cream will be delivered free to the holder of a complete set of 60 different baseball stars upon surrender of the same to any Yingling dealer. Babe Ruth may be saved for quarts of ice cream or a $5 scooter. That's a raw deal, whoever collected all those Babe Ruths. But super cool. So this is a lot of 7. Johnny Mostel. I don't know a lot about many of these guys. I'll have to look them up. I have to decide if they're worth getting slabbed by SGC, because I'll probably move most of them. I bought this lot for 1 card. Glenn Wright. It's just sometimes easier, even if you put in the cost of grading, just easier to sell them off. Bob O'Farrell. George Burns. That one looks pretty nice. Walter Rowther. And Joe Dugan. But the main card I was looking for was the Fred Cy Williams. So I've showed off some of his cards in the past. And he was one of the early home run hitters in the sport. A little bit in the dead ball era where he would win some batting home run titles, and then did so as well in the live ball era. So he was a big-time home run hitter there for a few years with the Phillies. He was one of their power stars, only to be demolished shortly by Babe Ruth. But very cool pickup. Happy to get that one in. And then the biggest card, the thing I'm been chasing for a while, it's a tough set, and this is just a tough card. I mean, I've looked for these at the Philly shows, at the last 3 Nationals. I browse eBay. You know, I've bid on some of these on eBay on occasion, once or twice a year, maybe one pops on. And I've lost those auctions in some of the auction houses, and was finally able to pick up a 1909 TTT Cigarettes T204 William Bransfield. So William Bransfield, better known as Kitty Bransfield, was a guy who played about 12 years in the big leagues, made his debut in 1898 for the Boston Beaneaters, took a year or 2 off, and then played for the Pittsburgh Pirates for several seasons before ending up in Philadelphia with a 7-year stint with the Phillies. And then he played 1 other year, I believe it was with the Cubs at the end of his career. He was a solid player. His best years were probably 1908 and 1909. 1908 probably being his best year. I think he had like 3 home runs. Not a power hitter. He was a first baseman. But that year he had 3 homers, 71 RBIs, I want to say, and hit 304. And 304 was good enough for 4th in the league for batting average. 1909, he had somewhat similar numbers. Average was down a little bit. But he had a good year, good couple years there, and I guess that's why he was selected. He is the only Philadelphia Philly in this set. So, first baseman, Philadelphia National, William Bransfield. Really, really nice set. And this one is an SGC 3, but when I get these types of cards, honestly, like It's all about the look of the card and getting it identified and authenticated in the slab. The numerical grade of little consequence to me. Just the higher it is, sometimes the higher you have to pay with certain cards. But what's interesting is just looking up and doing a little research on these players, and it's fun. I was doing that, and then I realized, I was like, oh, he was with the Pirates in 1903, and the Pirates in 1903 played in the very first World Series, the very first modern-day World Series against the Boston Red Sox. So William Bransfield here, not a Hall of Famer, not a household name by any means, but still a part of baseball history, playing in the very first World Series game. The Pirates defeated the Red Sox. He played in every game. There was a 8-game series, I believe. The Red Sox won it 5-3, best of 9 series back then. But Bransfield in the first game batted 5th, right behind Honus Wagner. So batting right behind him, and he got to play. He got to bat early in that game. I was looking. I know he was at the plate when Honus Wagner was on base. Honus Wagner stole the first base in World Series history, so winning, tacos there for everyone in the early 1900s with that World Series stolen base. If you don't get that joke, then I guess you don't watch the modern-day World Series anymore. But William Bransfield was at the plate when Honus Wagner stole a base. He ended up getting on base on an error, reaching base on an error, and then stole a base and scored a run. So making things happen in the first ever World Series game, William Bransfield. So it's just fun to do that kind of research, look it up, and then you can kind of look into the guys' lives. Some guys have more information than others. He played for 12 years, and then he did some minor league managing and some umpiring in various leagues, and then scouting for the Cubs. So pretty cool to look that stuff up, and just super thrilled to have another card from another set for the all-time Phillies collection. It's just fun to add stuff, and especially when they're cards that you are looking for a while and you're finally able to add it to the collection. So super happy about that. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you're enjoying watching the games, collecting cards, picking stuff up from the different eras, and really just enjoying what you collect. Appreciate it as always, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.